That's great.
We're here at Muleshoe Schools. This is Dr. R.L. Richards, and I'm here with Mrs. Lisa Whalin and Mr. Sam Whalin. They'll be retiring this year, and we're going to miss them so much. They've been such dedicated and loyal employees, and we'd like just to have a little interview with them and show the community how great people they are and tell a few stories that we could enjoy. So, Lisa, can you tell us how many years you've worked for Muleshoe Schools and maybe a little bit about some of that?
Okay, I have been with Muleshoe for 29 years. Joe Mayhew was the business manager, and she hired me as the receptionist, knowing that I would go into the bookkeeping position because Pauletta Crawford was retiring at the time. And so I was at the reception desk for 1 year, and then I moved into the bookkeeping, and I was there up till 6 years ago, and then became business manager. So I've been here 29 years.
Lisa's done a great job as business manager, and I've enjoyed working with her so close, trying to figure out the state funding and how that all works, and she's taught me a lot, and I appreciate you, Lisa, for all you've done. And Sam, how many years have you been at Muleshoe, and tell us about who hired you and how that all started?
Well, I've been 26 years here at Muleshoe, and it's been a pleasure to work here. It's, under some great leadership and all the way through to all the personnel at Muleshoe ISD. But a guy by the name of Bill Moore, it was the superintendent that hired me, and took over the maintenance and the facilities program. And in the last 26 years, we've seen so many changes, but it's been a great time, and everything at Muleshoe, so many changes, and we've thoroughly enjoyed our time here. Me and my wife, and my 26 years has been wonderful.
Mr. Muleshoe has done a great job, and we appreciate everything he's done. He's taught me a lot about how to work with school and how to work with people. One of the only maintenance guys I know that could actually have a great, strong personality and show great leadership and actually help some of my principals and do some different things. So we appreciate Sam for that. But one of the greatest things that I kind of know, when he and Dr. Sheets kind of had the bond issue going, and the school board helped get that through, and all the changes that happened at Muleshoe. I wasn't here, but they did a wonderful job. Sam, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we started out, and one thing we talked about back in that day was, all of our facilities were aging, and it was getting to the point where if we didn't do something then at one point everything was going to not be good, and we didn't really have the funds or the ability to pass a $100 million bond to do all of that. So we ended up passing a $25 million bond and then used some fund balance. But we got the whole town behind us pretty much, had the vote. The vote went over by quite a large margin. We had some great townspeople that come in and helped push it through. But Dr. Sheets, a lot of the thank you and appreciation to him, because he knew the right people to get on board. And, and it wasn't nothing that we just thought about overnight and did it. It was several months along, and we had tours of the facilities at nights, on weekends, and we ended up picking a great architect to work with that would pretty much take on with the ideas we had, which we wanted to build functional. And we wanted to build functional that would work great with our kids and really do what we needed. But the construction started back in 2008, and every building got exactly what they needed. And finished up at the high school, which is about 80% new. And if you haven't never toured any of our campuses, come out, we'll give you a tour, and it's really been a great asset to our community.
Sam has done a great job on that. And Lisa, can you tell us a little bit about going from accounts payable to a business manager, and then explain how you've been able to leverage some of those state funds here recently?
Well, it was you think being right next door to the business manager that you know what's going on, but it was a big learning curve, but it was challenging, and I thank the board so much and Dr. Richards for trusting me with it, but because it's been fun and I've loved it. I love the numbers of it. There's some parts of it I don't like very well, but that's with every job. But we love it. We have been able to give the school board, all the faculty some bonus money or incentives to stay here in Muleshoe. And we've been able to do some projects here, and it's been a lot of fun. We're going to miss it. We've raised our kids here. We love Muleshoe, and we're just going to miss you guys.
Thanks, Lisa. Okay, Sam, can you give us a story or two about some memorable events that maybe have happened during your tenure here?
I tell you what, I could start in and tell so many stories. Myself and Bill Moore, when he hired me, some of the things we had go on, and Dr. Sheets all them years, and Dr. Richards the last several years, and before I tell any funny stories, but and it comes from the heart. We have had the best leadership here at Muleshoe High School, and the superintendent and assistant superintendents, everyone since I've been here. There's been nothing that I'd have a bad word to say about any of them. But, I had the privilege to be great friends with Coach David Wood through all of his years. I came one June. He came the following April. March or April, and through there I hired him early, and me and him struck up and been great friends ever since. And everybody knows the success he has, and he told the story today about that state championship year after the Crane game. We was undefeated, but we'd given up quite a few points, and I told him his defense was horrible. That next week we'd go get a Coke in the mornings and during break time, and we'd talk about how the football game the previous week and the upcoming game, and I just come out and blame. I'm kind of one that if you don't want to know, don't ask me, but I just kind of brought it up that his defense was horrible, and anyway, and I laid the stake to claim that he changed some things during that week, but it really made him, he was really upset with me. I know he went home and told his wife, I can't believe Sam said that and whatever. But anyway, I firmly believe they did change some things, and I told also the story today, and I have it in book form because Westwood, his son, that was our quarterback, wrote a little memoir book during the 2008 season, and in that part he tells that after that Crane game we needed to make some adjustments on defense and did. So I've got written proof that I was correct. David will say he's correct, but anyway, I nearly lost a great friend over it, but he's still a great friend today, and we end up winning a state championship. And then Dr. Sheets told the story earlier today about, and luckily he was not in a school vehicle, he was in his pickup. We left the architect's office in Lubbock, headed to Bushland to a basketball game and trying to get there. And it's me, we were talking about athletic stuff in the gymnasium that we were going to working on getting put in the architect's design and all that, and what was and he told the story. It was 102 as he was taking the exit to get in Bushland. We was actually on the interstate. I was in the back seat of his pickup. David Wood was in the front seat. He was going over 100 miles an hour, and he reached over and David was doing the steering while he changed his shirt in the middle of the 102 mile an hour down the deal. So, I haven't wrote a whole lot with Dr. Richards, but the previous two superintendents we had, they were horrible drivers. So, that's one thing I could say. I can say they got you where you were going rather quickly. Is all I can say. So.
That was great stories. That's great stories. Okay, Lisa, you want to tell us a couple of memorable events maybe for you that kind of sums up some of the items you were here?
Well, when Trey McNeil was the business manager and I was the bookkeeper, and it was her first year, she had just gotten here, and I told Trey, I said, I will help you do anything you need, you let me know, I will help you. And she said, well, I'm going to a workshop, would you book my flight and book my reservations and everything? I said, yes. So I got in there and I booked her flight, and I got her reservations to her motel, and So a couple of days later, she says, well, Lisa, where am I staying? And I was like, oh, I don't know. So I had to get back on the phone and call all the motels, but of course I said I was Trey McNeil then. So I had to find what motel I had booked for her, so she never let me live that one down. And Dr. Sheets told another story on me this afternoon. So Dr. Sheets has been here about 2 weeks, and we were in a playoff game in Denver City. And so Sam and we were all riding. There was a bunch of us riding together, and we were riding in Victor Leal's Suburban. But Victor was nowhere to be found. And Sam was like, call him and tell him to come on. And so, well, Dr. Sheets and Victor's phone number are 1 digit apart. And Victor and I have this little saying that we do. And so when Dr. Sheets answered the phone, which I thought it was Victor, I said, are you naked? And Dr. Sheets says, excuse me? And I just hang up. I'm like, oh man, I called the wrong number. And I was in the back. Sam had no clue. And so I said, oh, I'm calling him right now. So I call again. Well, I called Dr. Sheets 2 more times, wrong phone number. Finally, the 3rd time, I was like, I'm so sorry, this is Lisa. I don't know why I keep calling your phone number. So Dr. Sheets, he kept me. I was so happy after 2, he kept me. He didn't fire me. So we've had just a lot of fun. I mean, it has been fun, it's been work, and it's just some of our best friends work for the school. Some of our best memories are with the school. So we're truly going to miss you guys.
Lisa and Sam have just been such loyal, strong supporters of Muleshoe schools, and they have made a lot of things work here that people just don't even really imagine. So I'm going to give them a last chance here to kind of say a few things that they'd like to say about their gratitude or whatever, but I hold them in high esteem because they're just awesome people. And they're true and pure, honest, and just unbelievable. Makes me a little bit emotional because of what all they've been able to do and accomplish. So I'm going to hand it to Sam. Sam, I'm going to let you have some last words.
Well, and like I said earlier, it's been a privilege to, I say work here, to serve Muleshoe ISD and the whole town, because it's a passion to have everything looking good and have good facilities. And, when you come to a ball game, you want everything to look clean and sharp and take care of business. And, it's a privilege that they allowed me to have the personnel and the money to do the different things to keep everything looking well. But served under some great leadership. It's going to be a hard thing to leave, but it comes a time for everything to, we got together, me and Lisa, about 10 years ago and tried to figure out when we was going to retire. And we've actually went 1 more year longer than we originally thought. But, we're going to miss everything about it from, back. I'd like to thank Channel 6 and Gil Lamb Advertising. I used to do the football games for them on Friday night and had a lot of fun working with both Bob Graves and Ronnie Jones and been involved with, even before I went to work for the school, involved around the athletics up here. I went to high school here, and, it's always, Muleshoe ISD has just been a great place, and hopefully I've, done them a good job, and we thoroughly enjoyed it, and I just thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Okay, Lisa, I'm going to let you say a few things, then we're going to talk about the future.
Okay. Like Sam said, it's been a great opportunity. Muleshoe is special. We've got great kids, great staff. I mean, people, it's family. And so it's going to be hard to leave, but it's time, seasons change and it's time to move on and let a younger guy get in there. And Miles James has taken my place, and he's going to do a great job. And it's even going to be hard to leave him now. So, but it's like, I told Dr. Richards, it's like me, I've raised this baby and now I've got to give it away, and it's hard. And so it's time to go and let some young ones get in here and do something, and we're going to miss you, and we're going to be at the ball games. We're still going to be around. We're not leaving Muleshoe. And so we just want to thank you for everything you've allowed us to do here.
Okay, Lisa, I'm going to hand it right back to you. Tell us about where your kids are and your grandkids, and just tell us a little bit about that. And then I'll let Sam tell what the retirement plan is.
So my daughter graduated here in 2004, Brandy, and she is married to Cody Grage, and they live in South Dakota. And I have my granddaughter Aubrey is 13, and Rance is 11. And then my son Dow lives in Midland, and he's married to Ashley. And we have Reed, and Reed is 7, and Sawyer is 15 months.
That's going to be fun, handling those grandkids. Okay, Sam, so tell us what the retirement plan actually is. Okay. Right here on Channel 6 News.
The retirement plan is we hope to do exactly what we want to do. We have we bought a fifth-wheel travel trailer about 1.5 years ago, and we're going to do a lot of traveling. Last summer we were up in Iowa and South Dakota and Colorado, and just thoroughly enjoyed that, and got a lot of kinfolks live in Oklahoma, down around Lake Texoma. We're going to spend some time there. Our kids give us a month-long stay up in Ruidoso starting next September, and kind of be up there in the fall of the weather. But we plan to do lots of traveling and just being able to go and see people and grandkids. And our grandkids that live up in South Dakota, get to watch them play some ball and stuff. And my granddaughter, she's 7th grader, and of course it's a small school, but she played her junior high basketball season, and then she played on the JV after that. So. But we're anxious to go up there and watch them, and my grandson play football, and then my grandkids down here at Midland get to spend a little more time with those two, and just kind of be more in their life, being able to go when they have something, and like I say, we thankful for the opportunity, but we're looking forward to this. You go through phases in your life when you get married, and then you have kids, and then your kids get gone, and then you have grandkids, and this is just another phase that we think it's our time in our life to go and do and see what's over the next horizon.
That's great, Sam. I thank y'all for tuning in for Channel 6 and listening to Mr. Sam Whalin and Miss Lisa Whalin as they're planning to retire. And it's just going to be an exciting time for them, and we're excited for them. May God bless y'all. We love you so much, and we want to care for you as you enter this new page and chapter in your life. Thank you.